Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ariel checking in. Today is Tuesday, June 14th, and I just wanted to give y'all a recap of how my first week here in Paris went, just with classes and things that I wish I would have prepared for before coming over here. First, I'm going to talk about things that I wish I would have packed. When we got over here, I guess I was expecting it to be around the mid-70s all the time. However, we ended up getting into a lot of cooler temperatures. So that was a nice little transition from Texas. I ended up having to wear my sweater or my coat practically every day. So I wish I would have packed more pairs of jeans, longer skirts, and tights or pantyhose for the shorter skirts and shorts, more long sleeve shirts because I only packed 2, and then I had like a sweater and another light pullover, and then another pair of boots with no heels. I have a pair of black boots that I have, and they're kind of on the military style, but they're about 4 inches. I am walking around Paris in a city where you walk a lot for your transportation to get from point A to point B. My heels have gone through a lot of things. And then on Friday, we went to Normandy and we went to this church called Mont Saint Michel. And there were 250 steps to get to the top before we started our tour. I climbed those 250 steps and 4-inch heels twice up and twice down. So it was a nice leg workout. So I just wish I would have packed some boots that were flat. Second thing I would like to talk about is the time difference. Over here, compared to Central Time in the US, we're 7 hours ahead. So right now it's 7 o'clock in Texas, and over here it's 2 o'clock. And because of this large time difference, it's been kind of hard being able to talk to friends and family, because when I'm awake, they're probably still sleeping, and when they're awake, I'm probably sleeping. And then also just with internet connection, having to walk down the street to the McDonald's or wait until we get to campus, that makes it also a little bit more difficult to communicate with family if you decide to go the route that I did and not get an international phone or a phone for Paris, which I know some people did get their cell phone provider to allow them to make calls internationally, but that's kind of expensive. And also I decided that since a prepaid phone was not included in the tuition and fees for this study abroad program, to not get a phone and to just call my family and friends via Skype when I could, text them through Yahoo Messenger when I could, just to make it easier, and it's a cheaper option. So right now, I just finished up one of my classes, which is consumer behavior. We actually ended about an hour ago. And the 2 classes that I'm taking right now are international marketing and consumer behavior, and then the second class is cross-cultural management and negotiation. So as you can probably tell from the name, each class is separated into 2 different parts. So for international marketing and consumer behavior, both of those parts were taught by UT professors, and we just finished up consumer behavior. So we'll have our test for that class on Monday. And then our second class, which has been cross-cultural management and negotiation, we've already had 2 sessions of the cross-cultural management, which were last week, and then all day Wednesday and Thursday we'll be having our negotiation section, and then next week until the end we'll be doing the remainder of our cross-cultural management class, as well as starting our international marketing class, which will be with another UT professor. Another thing about the cross-cultural management and negotiation classes is our cross-cultural management class is actually going to be taught by two, you can probably see my fingers, two different professors here at ESCP Europe, and then our negotiation class will be taught by one ESCP professor. And for negotiation, as opposed to having 4 separate days where we go to that class, we're actually just going to have 2 days for negotiation. So all day tomorrow from 9 to 4, I will be in class, and we'll have a couple of breaks in there. They're pretty good about breaking it up into hour and a half increments for restroom breaks, snack breaks, and then we'll have class, I think, from 9 to 12, and then from 1 to 4. So that 12 to 1 bracket is for lunch here on campus. And so far, I've really enjoyed my classes. And it seems like the deeper I get into marketing, the more I realize that a lot of the things that you learn can be used just to develop on how you market yourself to people and just with your relationships with other people, which I find really interesting. And as for being here in Paris, what I've learned so far is this is mostly a walking and public transportation city. There are people do drive cars here like in any other country, in any other city, but a lot of the people get by taking the metro and just by walking places, which is probably why there's a significantly larger group of in shape people or healthy people here as compared to in the United States, just because of all the walking and taking the metro. And then also, when it comes to transportation, because the streets are a little bit narrower, not a lot of people have cars, and parking can be horrible still. And then I think they have more taxes if you have cars here as well. So it's just more efficient to buy a metro pass or walk whenever possible. Another thing, things are a lot more expensive for us Americans. When me and my roommate first arrived here, I think the transfer rate was 1.6 euros to, like now, $1.62 equaled €1. So that, one euro was equal to $1.62. So that was not good for us because it was just more expensive. But fortunately, it's been down a little bit. It's gone down to 1.42 or $1.43 equaling €1. So you definitely have to be more conscious about when you're spending while you're over here, and then depending on what bank you have, they might charge you extra for when you withdraw out of your bank account with your debit card. And then another thing that I learned is don't go grocery shopping on Sundays, because most likely the grocery store will be closed. For example, me and my roommate were going to do our laundry on Sunday, and we woke up and we got ready, and I think we left around 2 from our dorm and walked down the street, and all the grocery stores were closed. So most of the time grocery stores will be closed, and then if they are open, they'll close up early around 1 o'clock. Another thing that I noticed is the diversity here. For whatever reason, when I think of Europe, I don't expect to see people that'll look like me or to have as much diversity as we do in the United States. But even though I have learned that there is a lot of diversity here, there's a difference between reading it in a book or hearing it in a lecture back in the States and actually seeing it with your own eyes. So it's definitely very diverse here, which is awesome. And then lastly, this really is the city of love. I have no idea how many couples I have seen on the subways, at the Eiffel Tower, just everywhere. Out in restaurants, so yeah, that's about it. And that's all I wanted to let y'all know about my experience here. And I look forward to updating y'all about week 2 next week. Bye.